Hello, this is Parish Garden, and welcome to my 9 to 5, or what I chose to be my 9 to 5. Um, I'm painting today. Now, I know the other day in my descriptions I wrote that I had that mental paralysis and I didn't need a new hobby, and I also might have mentioned something about coins. Well, I did start it. My paralysis won, but I put limitations to it. One, I wasn't really going to be doing anything that week. I know I wanted to do laundry, and my body was like, "Argh," and my mental paralysis was like, "Nyah, nyah, nyah, nyah," and it was all leading to the coin thing. I am nowhere near done with that, and I'm not gonna start collecting coins. It's not. I don't care about that. But I have tons of coins, and if someone wants them, there are means to obtaining them. That's it. I'm Anyways, I did what I wanted to do. I sorted all my coins out by decade. That's what I wanted to do. And whenever I have time to go back to them, they'll be there. That's it. So, um, with that, this is another project that I was doing when my brain was short circuiting. Um, my kids were in spring break, and it's good to pick up a little project. And my daughter really liked it. My son, not so much, but he is doing it. I mean, I'm not forcing him to. He's doing it. And of course, I'm not going to record them. They did their own thing. But this was mine. It was a butterfly. Obviously, it's one of those paint by numbers. So it's not made or meant to be some professional level, you know, museum piece. It's just supposed to be fun, um, entertaining, distracting, and still, a bit of creativity. Now, I need to get a picture of the box so you can see what the box looks like. I'll talk about it later. But this is it. I have the painting clipped onto a clipboard, and I have my phone clipped on to the same clipboard. So wherever I'm moving this, you can't tell when I'm picking it up. Ooh, here's a trick. Grab a big brush that is dry and clean, and when you mess up, you could just swipe it across the paint and pick up the messed up paint. And then you just wipe that and clean that, and the next time you mess up, it's already dry. And you wipe towards where the paint is supposed to be, or alongside. It's just, it's an easy way to pick up paint. Anyways, back onto my rant about how this is just supposed to be a moment to yourself. I enjoyed it. I had fun. I liked the way it came out.
Okay.
Cool. I'm glad we all agree on that. Now, um, I'll show you the box so you can see the brand and everything. I liked it. I liked the quality of this
Yeah.
fabric paper
Yeah.
piece. I like the paint because they came in those little cups. I'm sure you saw them. They came in those little cups, but then they were vacuum sealed. So by the time you open them, they weren't dry. What I didn't like was the color, because the box had one color and then the inside paper had a different color, and then the paints were a different color. Now there were slight variations, and that's fine. But I also added iridescence to this. I don't think I added too much color to it. I'll check my paints, I'm not sure. But there were some things that I changed. Now, by the time I started recording and realizing that maybe this is something worth recording, I was already mostly done with the background. The only thing you're seeing me do is the butterfly, the detail on the butterfly. If you want to know how I did it, I started with the darkest color, and I was being extra careful with that to not overly paint. That way I could go ham with the lightest color. That's basically it. And then I would go one round. Why? Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm blocking the sun here. But anyways, um, what did I do? I would go with the darkest color from top to bottom and go all the way around the painting. And then I would do it again, top to bottom of that same color. And then I would move on to the next darkest color. I think I started like at the little bottle said 9. From 9, I went to 8, 7, 6, 5. I think those are those magenta pinks that you see here. They're supposed to be a purple. They're not. But that was the order. Darkest was 9. Lightest was 5. And of course, I mixed them and added my own iridescent to it and changed it a little bit. It came with a little template of what the numbers were underneath. That I put that underneath the picture, so that way I could flip it over and see exactly what that little weird space is supposed to be and how it's supposed to actually look. Because when you paint it with the dark color, you sometimes hit the edges, so you're not sure where the line is. And you're not sure what the number is. So you want to be able to go back and look. I think here I wanted to talk about how I'm working on that. And I wonder, sometimes I would look, but I would forget what I was looking for, so I would just look for a different number. And then eventually I'd go back to what I was doing. Um, that's why I slowed it down there. I don't know why it's so dark. I think my big head is covering the light wherever it's coming from. But that's how I did it. The bottom piece right there of the butterfly, where you still see, I think, a 1 and a 2. Um, I have dirt in my hair. Um, in the painting and the little bucket that is there, it was supposed to be a blue. It was an ugly blue. It wasn't the type of blue that you saw on the packaging. So I didn't like it. Also, I'm very partial to purple. So I picked my own purple. One that already had iridescent in it, so I didn't have to mess with it. And I liked it better. Now see, you right here, you're going to see me going back to those light colors. And I'm really making sure I cover up the numbers. Especially with those lighter colors, it's hard to cover up the number without making it look like a big glob. So I really had to be gentle and go over those numbers and make the paint look smooth. But the bottom section of that butterfly, I required it to be purple. It was a demand. A personal, deep down in my soul demand. But yeah. Oh, see right there. 2 of my colors looked like the magentas that already came with the package, and then one of them was a purple. So I went with that one. I thought you could see me sample them up there, but you couldn't, so I slowed it down and showed you the difference in magentas and purples. Now here you're going to see me add that purple, and you'll see at the end what it's supposed to look like. I'll try to get a picture of the box, because the inside package and the box are not the same shade. Because if it was, this purple would not have worked the way it did. But I think I was talking about the quality of this kit. It comes with a frame. It's a cute little frame. It comes with a magnet. It's a strong magnet. Um, this fabric, sure, it's not expert quality, but hey, it's pretty nice. It's better than that weird cardboard that comes in some of these. So that is nice. Um, like I said, the paints, it came very well protected. So you're able to use the paints, even though they've been sitting there for a while. They are not dried out. And this is why I moved the clipboard a lot. You see how shiny it is? So I had to make sure the glare was not in my eye because, yes, everything is great, but my eyes suck. So I have to be able to make sure I see the lines properly. So it's not a product problem. That's a me have bad eye problem. Other than that, the brushes. Again, I don't think they would last more than a few uses. Oh, okay. So here you're gonna see me going back over like the black. Well, it's not black. It's like a maroon, but it looks black. And so I'm going back and forth, making sure that I am actually laying that color down in the right spots. Um, you're not gonna really see how well the edges come out on this, but definitely on the next color, which is also a maroon. Um, you see how much more darker it gets. But what was I talking about? Hang on, I need to listen to what I was talking about. Okay, I know. Brushes, a few uses. But especially for this first time, I think it was amazing. Like the pointed one was really nice and sharp, and I was able to get very close to the edges. And even though I know how to take care of my brushes, and I would dry them in between uses, my kids would just leave them in the cup. And even with that, they stayed sharp, no frayr, no frays. The wood did not get puffy. It did not get weird. It was good quality brush for what it is. I'm happy with it. Um, I think here you're gonna start seeing that magenta really fill in. Oh, that spot right there. See how you can see it? I think it got filled in. Yeah, look at that. So I would go back and I would make sure all of that was the right color. There were a few spots that I had missed between that black and maroon that needed to be filled in better. But that's why I have that other page underneath that showed me where everything's supposed to be. Mm, so yeah, if you want just a nice, decent quality, so that way you could work peacefully on something, I think this is a good brand. I liked it. Instead of getting frustrated because things are not coming out. Now, if your skill level is not up for the challenge, then that's a you problem. But as far as quality of materials, these made me happy. Me happy with the result. That's my Karen opinion. Now I want to speak to a manager. Um, like I said, the paint quality was great. The colors were not my favorite, so I mixed my colors. Is that something bad against the color quality? No. I'm just weird and picky. That's it. I can tell the difference. Um, I know there's a compliment in there somewhere. I have no idea. There's stop reading. I don't know. Oh, I think I was supposed to say stop recording. Icky. Um, I did finish it. This is the page inside of the packet. Here I will put maybe a picture of the box. Um, but yeah, you see how that's like a purple. It was a nice purple. That would have been a great purple with some blue. That is not what the color looked like. I know I added iridescence, but I did not change a purple from a pink and magenta. Like, that's impossible to do. So the colors were more on the pink and magenta side versus the purple side. Okay? And if you were to look at the box looks magenta. So I did not like the magenta with blue. I like the magenta with purple. Okay, so here you'll be able to see some gray there. That was the gray that was supposed to be. It kind of like the picture. Not quite, but I liked it better blue. So I did want blue on the painting. So I got that gray that came in the package and I mixed it with the blue that came with the package. Very little blue. Very little blue. But it's there. And I like that better. And then the white stayed white. But then I put a whole border. I didn't add anything. I just didn't color it in. You see that there's still a 1 there? I just realized that right now. I just didn't paint there. No painting. And then those weird white tubes, you see it on the picture too, those weird white tubes as grass. I don't know what that's about, but that is painted with that background white that's at the top. It's what it told me to do. I added different shades of green down to the grass. I don't really like it, but I think it's a whole lot better than just the plain green. Yay, transition. And here is the final painting. It has its frame. That's a cute little frame. It has like the little glass. I think it's a plastic, but still, it's there. The butterfly is gorgeous. The flower is gorgeous. And that was my 9 to 5. I did a little bit of arts and crafts. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.